Hello friends, you must have seen many vector drawings. But friends, vector drawing is a bit tedious job and it also requires mastery in the tools which are used for drawing vector shapes. But friends, let me tell you, you don't have to always draw something right from scratch. The feature called vector tracing allows you to draw the exact shape with ease. We are going to learn two types of tracing techniques, auto tracing and manual tracing. We will click on File and then click on Place. We will locate the folder where our image is located. Then we will select the image, that is the object we want to trace, and then click on Place. Then we will click inside the document where we want our object to be placed. Now here we are going to trace this fruit in Illustrator. We will adjust the shape, then click on Window and then click on Layers. We will click on the Layers option and then click on Duplicate Layer. You have seen that we have created a duplicate layer of this fruit. Then we will close the layer window and then adjust the shape as required. Then by keeping the layer selected, we will click on Image Trace drop down. Now here you get different options like High Fidelity Photo, Low Fidelity Photo, 3 colors, 6 colors, 16 colors and so on. For now, we will close this window. Then we will click on Object. Then click on Image Trace and then click on Make. The message saying tracing may proceed slowly with this large image. Would you like to continue? We will click on OK. Please wait till the image is traced. Then we will click on Expand. Friends, you have seen how easily and quickly Illustrator has converted this drawing into vectors, or more precisely, it has traced the image and converted into a vector shape. Now you can select any area of the image and add color to it as shown. Then you have to simply click outside to deselect. Friends, you have seen how easily Illustrator has automatically traced the shape. Now once you have seen the auto tracing method, let's move on to manual tracing method. Once you have opened the image, we will click on Windows and then click on Layers. Click on New Layer. Then double click on the layer to rename it and enter the required name. That is Tracing. Then we will select the base layer and then we will reduce the opacity to 40%. And then we will lock the layer. Then we will select the tracing layer. Then click on the pen tool. Then click on the color drop down and select None. Then we will click on line color drop down and select the required color. Then we will click on stroke weight drop down and select the required stroke amount. And then we will start to draw the shape as shown. We have to simply click on the shape to start drawing a line. We will add the first anchor point, then the second one, and so on. We will make sure that we complete the shape by clicking on the starting anchor point. Then we will click on Direct Selection tool. Select the required anchor point. Then we will click on Convert selected anchor points to smooth. Then we will adjust the anchor points as shown. Then we will click on Pen tool drop down and then click on Anchor point tool. Then we will drag the anchor point to achieve the required shape. We will repeat the same process for other anchor points as well. Then we will click on Direct Selection tool. Then click on New Layer. Then we will drag the layer below the tracing layer and then rename the layer as shown. Then we will click on Pen tool and then continue drawing the shape. Once we have completed drawing the shape, we will click on Direct Selection tool Then press Ctrl plus Alt on the keyboard and then adjust the shape with the use of handles. We will repeat the same process for other shapes as well. Again we will click on Direct Selection tool and then delete the unwanted anchor points. Then we will adjust the anchor points as we did before. Now it's time to add handle. We will create a new layer. Then click on Stroke drop down and then select the required stroke weight. And then drag to draw the shape. We will click on Line Color drop down and then select the required color. Again we will click on Pen tool, select the required stroke weight, then select the required line color and then draw the shape. Now we will resize the shape as we did before. Now we will select the tracing layer, then click on Window and select Gradient. We will click on Gradient Color, then we will click on the right gradient slider and select the required color. We will repeat the same process for the left gradient slider. Then we will click on Color Picker tool, select the required color and then click on OK. Notice the change made to the color. Then we will click on Gradient Angle and then select the required angle. Then we will click on Window and then click on Layers. Then we will select the bottom layer, then click on Window and select Gradient. Now here we will simply click on the gradient as we have already selected the color. Then we will click on right gradient slider, then click on Color Picker tool and then select the required color. Now click on OK. We will repeat the same process for the other shade as well. Then we will click on Gradient Angle drop down and select the required value. Now we will press Shift, select both the layers and then rotate them as shown. Again we will click on Pen tool, click on the Stroke Color drop down, select the required color, then click on Stroke Weight and select the required value. Now we will drag to draw the shape. Now we will adjust the line as we did before. We can also adjust the stroke weight by clicking on the drop down. Then we will click on Width Profile and then select Width Profile 4. Notice the change made to the shape. We will also adjust the weight of other line as well. And then change the width profile as we did before. Similarly, we will make the changes to other lines as well. Also, we will add these shapes on the top of the umbrella. Now it's time to save the file. To do so, we will click on File and then click on Save As. The Save As window is open. Here we will locate the folder where we want to save our file. Then next to file name, we will enter the required file name, that is umbrella. Here you can also change the file type, but for now we will keep it Adobe Illustrator as it is. and then click on Save. The Illustrator options window is displayed. Click on OK. We have saved the file with the given name. As you can see umbrella.ai at the top of the file. You have seen how easily we can manually trace the image and create a beautiful drawing. So friends, we have seen how easily we have traced the objects in Illustrator. Go ahead and trace some wonderful drawings, shapes or objects and impress the viewers.